My name is Hillary Gadsby. I'm a fellow alum of Ralph Lauren as well. So, um, you were talking about how when you do the creative, you can't be the one writing the checks. So, what are the tips that you could give entrepreneurs on running the business at the same time as doing the creative before you hire somebody like a CEO?
Yeah, because we did it. So I mean, before we started hiring people, we literally did like everything. And I mean, I think you just have to be organized and understand kind of like how to prioritize all those things. Like they have to get done, you know. So you just have to figure out like how you are going to get this done. Like bills don't get paid, it's a problem, right? Um, so I think it's really time management more than anything else, and then hopefully hiring people around you or whoever's part of your team. I mean, we had a very small team, but fortunately there were people that we could delegate certain things to, because you can't do everything. And Allie and I kind of shared responsibilities for certain things that I knew better than she did. If it was an operational thing, we had one person. The second person we hired was like our director of operations. We trusted her, and she took charge and took care of some of those things. So I think it's a big time management thing, and that's probably why we're working 7 days a week and probably 18 hours a day. I don't think there's an easy answer to it.
Do you anticipate the business moving more toward a media exposure? Is there going to be a One Kings Lane show or a One Kings Lane channel? Here we are shooting the business of inspiration today, but do you think that's an evolution of your company?
I don't think that we're going to become like a media company, but we know already from a lot of things that we've done that those are really, I mean, the synergy of doing those things for our business makes such good sense. So, we've already done, 2 seasons of Bravo's $1 Million Decorator, which was huge. And not only was it huge, what was great about it is that the people that we acquired during those shows have been very, very valuable customers. So there's definitely, a good relationship there, doing all the media things. And I think it's all part of innovating. So I think that we'll continue to try to find new and interesting ways to, showcase our brand and, bring people into sort of the One Kings Lane, world.
Are you managing your media strategy internally, or have you worked with outsourced companies for that?
Both. So we're managing some internally, and we actually ran TV campaign during the last Q4. So Wyden Kennedy, we hired to do our TV ads. So they've been also helping put together strategy for that as well.
We're a broadband television startup. We look at channels that inspire an intensely passionate worldwide audience that's poorly served by TV. And when I tell the story of the company and our personal story, and I'll ask both of you this question, and we actually have a show that we'll figure out how to put together called My Three Passions, which for me is research for channels. But the question I ask is pretty simple to everyone. Put your friends and family aside. What are the 3 things you're really passionate about in your daily life? And to me, one of ours is entrepreneurialism, so we're starting TV for startups, but would love to hear kind of both of your answers to wrap it up.
Susan, you want to go first, or you want me to?
You go first.
Oh, great.
Or you guys can alternate one.
Okay, well, my number one passion is fair trade and having global commerce happen in a fair manner so that nobody's taken advantage of. I dedicated the company to fair trade, and we end poverty for tea workers worldwide. So fair trade's my number one passion besides my kids and my husband. Number 2 is creativity. And yeah, creating something beautiful in kind of an overwhelmed world. I love ritual. I love the idea of stopping everything and having a cup of tea and realizing that life is sacred, and connecting it with others. And then the third one would be probably my gypsy heritage. and what it means to be a gypsy on the positive side of things. It's gypsies are the one culture in the whole world that don't see any one country as their home. They see the whole world as their home. And I think that's very relevant for where we are today as a global society. So
I guess I'd have to say at this point in my life, it's One King's Lane because I mean it's hard to do a lot of other things. I mean, you know, again, aside from my husband and my family, my kids, but I think that embodies a lot more than three things because it's about not just One King's Lane as a company that's doing well, but that as a good company, as a great company to work for, as a great company to do business with, and I'm like super passionate about that, like up to the point that everybody kind of makes fun of me, at the office because I experienced throughout my career as a manufacturer, as a wholesaler, so much like not that way. And I think that is so important, and life is too short not to be, good partners and not to be kind, people to do business with. So like, I think it's really about One King's Lane being a successful company, but just being a good company. I think that's super important and really passionate about that. And, within that also, I think is creative and helping people, create more beautiful spaces in their life, which I think is, really part of what we do.